for about a good 12, 13 years. Okay, before I got here. And what
Let's see
brought me
where we
here
at.
was
Uh-oh.
reading about the dating divide and the S&B chart by Rose Masi.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to jump in and I was actually recruited by the MGTOW to be a content creator. Okay, so I started being a content creator for MGTOWs, and then the ISMOR wanted to separate from the MGTOWs and start their own black thing, so they recruited me. So I came over to the black side, and it kind of grew from there. And then Obsidian and Angry Man and other people actually recruited me. So I've always been recruited to actually jump in behind the microphone. So there's never me just jumping in and say, I'm just going to start this up. Somebody asked me, can you do this for me?
Doesn't ask me anything,
Okay,
so
so
you can
that's
ask me
why.
anything long as it's family
So
friendly.
and then when I tried to leave, they said, no, no,
And
still to this day, they call
yeah,
hey, you ain't been
got to
here
clear my
this
throat.
week. Well, make sure God
Let me
ain't
clear
telling
my
you,
throat.
but you can't leave, okay?
Y'all,
So,
you won't remember that.
And then, and I've also wanted to ask you, Dave, if you have a particular question you want to kind of toss to him, feel free to kind of jump in here too. How has the space changed for the better, or and maybe for the worse in some ways, from your observation, both being in it and being able to be in it?
With things since I come from a pro-black background,
Hopefully,
the
some people
infighting
will
is very normal to me.
enter the chat.
So I understand where it comes from because people don't agree with you, and sometimes they do it rather vociferously. So that's very normal to me. The thing is, what is surprising me is people see that the space has progressed from, and they still don't believe in it. That's the problem that I see. Okay, is that you still don't believe it's actually in front of your eyes, even though. I'll give you one example about female wall. Okay, now I explained this. I think it was my third video, MGTOW, about why it exists and what the parameters are, so scientifically, all this kind of stuff, right? Okay, still, some I did that in 2024, 2013, and some 13 years later, we're still arguing about it. Okay, it's if you understand what it is, why it exists, and define it that way, and not add other stuff to it. Okay, you understand what it is.
What's
Okay?
up, Lindsay?
It's attached to a fertility, and every place around the world knows exactly what it is. What we argue about. So that kind of surprises me sometimes. A lot of stuff that's been proven over and over and over again, we're still arguing about it. So that does shock me sometimes.
And so it's shocking to still hear men in 2026 argue about things you guys was putting out 10, 15 years ago.
15 years ago, with not just with opinion, but with science and data and anecdotes and books and all this kind of
The
stuff.
Streamlabs moderator doesn't
And we started.
like
I was just arguing about marriage,
a bunch of emotes
on my earlier show. Okay, somebody came
in the
up about
comments. It
marriage.
looks like spam, so it blocks that.
Is not it's an invented thing by human beings to actually raise children. Okay, and the idea of marriage is like 200,000 years. So it didn't just come about because of a belief or a moral edict coming from God. Okay, no matter what you believe, okay, it's not true. It's been documented. It doesn't matter how many documents you come up with, people still don't believe it because they want to believe what they want to believe. Oh, Split Jim, appreciate you, brother.
Hey, banger.
It's one of my guys.
You done climbed the mountains to get to the temple and brought the master teacher out. Man, it's
you know what, man? They used to tell me when I first started, right? Don't make the old man come off the mountain with stone tablets and throw them at you, okay?
Hey, that part. Draw a line in the sand and say kill him.
the fact that you've allowed me to, all you guys have allowed me to kind of be adjacent in this space. Where you obviously talk about different topics and things related and not related. But the love and support that you guys have done with, giving advice and feedback. And I listen. I was listening long before I started doing this, so it didn't make sense for me to stop listening once I kind of started speaking, getting behind the microphone. Dave gives me advice, you guys do, and I'm constantly month in and month out trying to make adjustments to be a more authentic, better version of what it is that we're all doing. So, shout out to what's it? You said A-Split?
It's Split Jim,
Yeah, Split Gem, man. Thank you for the $49.99 and everybody, if you
What's up,
haven't done
Carlton?
so, we're almost at 300 people concurrently watching, so that means a bunch of
We already
people
got some
hit the like-
retards in the live stream.
Yeah, but a lot of you either didn't hit the like button, or a lot of you haven't shared it with at least one.
Or better yet, hit the hype button. Okay, the hype button.
Yeah, hype,
you know,
like,
yeah.
send it to a couple people. Let's get this number clearing 3 or even 400 people.
If everybody that knows me and knows you comes in, we'll get 800 easy.
Come on, and that's the only way, because y'all just got to share it for sure.
Yeah.
And then lastly, low-key Stormbringer.
Oh, yeah.
BGS sent me here. I'm just here so BGS doesn't turn into VHS. Digital belt. So Dave, before we even do the whole LeVar conversation, everything, BGS is in the building. If you wanted to say,
BGS, my main thing to you is,
yes, sir.
What do you see now from, the folks coming up, after you that you wish you had known coming in?
You're talking about coming into the space or coming
into
in
the space.
Yeah, but if I hold it here, isn't it blocking my face? That's right. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who will help you customize and save? Liberty Mutual.
So all the low IQ folks, please double tap the screen to
When you
like
go
this
order
stream.
furniture from Wayfair, it's natural to wonder what if. Like, what if your friend Charles hates it?
I hate it.
With Wayfair, you don't have to wonder what if.
That Wayfair Sofa Express. These chips.
I'm about to take a shower. It's so freaking hot.
Sell in all the places with Shopify.
It's not hot. It's like it's just humid. It's not like
every cha-ching,
dry heat.
all
It's
in one
humid.
place.
It's the
When it's time
humidity
to
right
sell
now
everywhere, it's time for Shopify.
because the
Start your
temperature
free
isn't
trial
even
today.
that high. Well, high for me, but for most people, the 80s, they wouldn't mind that. I don't. I like things around the 60s.
Trying to think. I wish I had known how YouTube was actually going to react to people being in this space. I didn't know how much pushback we're actually going to get. So we didn't know that till we got here. So that kind of surprised me. And some of the back.
I'm watching, by the way,
some about the back
Ask a Brother podcast.
The
The topic is, has the manosphere changed with BGS it more? And the business bully, which is Dave Anderson.
So we're all on the same mission, and sometimes people disagree. And
Cardinal said, did you hear about the influencer Connor Murphy that passed away in Thailand? He was a fitness guy. No, I haven't. Only Connor I know is Conor McGregor.
Somebody ain't doing better than me.
And I have enemies that really have no reason.
Was he
to be
black
after me.
or?
They've been after me for like 13 years, man. They don't go away. So why don't you just go someplace else? But they're still around.
Wow.
which also surprises me. YouTube is a big place. I said you don't have to follow me around. Okay, you can follow somebody else around.
It ain't that hard. Unfollow is there for you. Block is there for you. No one's forcing you to be here.
They won't. They will not go anywhere. You think they're gone? You pick up the lid. Oh, they're still. Oh, we're still here. Lurking. Yeah, we still here. Okay.
He was a white guy. Yeah, I haven't heard of
And I
him.
wanted to also ask you about that. Why do you?
I
think
try
that
not
it's
to know
so bad
as
when
much
it
as
comes to
possible
the guy?
anything
we
about
always talk
influencers.
stoic and,
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
emotions, but behind the scenes, man, and the way in which guys crash out on each other. Why do you think that happens as often as it does?
Okay, and this is something, and you're
Person I really know. I mean, I don't know anyone in Thailand. I mean, the people I know of in Thailand are people like Richie Mack from Zoom to Thailand.
No matter what you say, how they were raised, and their worldview, it's almost hard to submit. Okay, it's very difficult to go against somebody's worldview. And sometimes some things you say or something you bring up will go against the worldview, and no matter whether it's right or wrong, they're gonna have a reaction to it.
Wow.
I mean, coming from your expertise, am I close?
You're extremely close. I think the issue is there's a part of me that is a human part of me, and then there's the analytical part of me. And the human part of me is like, why can't when we get in this space, we build together, we support each other, and do what all the other groups are doing?
Right.
But the other side of me, the analytical side, is like pattern recognition. If there's fame, if there's clout, if there's money, people are going to compete.
And that's a good part of it, okay, which is why I don't argue against it, because there's a very good book called Lucifer Principle, written by Howard Bloom in '95, about talk about spreading seeds and spreading memes, right? So if they want to make money from it, they spread the seeds. Okay, I'm not paying you. I can't pay you to spread my message. Well, guess what? Somebody else can pay you.
Why does he sound like he's missing teeth or he's old as shit?
Or negative. Actually, we call that the tar baby syndrome.
Oh,
Right? In other words, if you contact the tar baby, it will actually go carry back tar with you. You carry it to someplace else and spread the tar. So So whether it's positive or negative, I don't care. Okay, you're gonna spread it.
Carlin said he lost his mind and went on a tirade, destroyed his rental home, and jumped in a lake and drowned. He was likely on drugs. Oh well, if he only killed himself, then I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care when people off themselves. Like, doesn't affect me. These are the BGS guys, elderly. He is. I did. He sounds like it. So okay, that makes sense.
What the black man has to suffer from? Shame, guilt, and need to be right. Okay, and Kevin added the line. Okay, that was 2007. Okay, and Kevin spread that throughout the whole planet. So
wow. And shout out to the Godfather, man. Rest in peace, man. And his level of impact is still fascinating to see the very, very short run that he had.
Yeah.
And how many? It probably was a variety of things, man. Probably charisma, timing, COVID, the whole nine. Again, he was on YouTube prior to him going up.
Yeah.
And his audience, the night and day difference. Even seeing his old stuff was very interesting to see his growth in this space once he started tapping with other people.
Yes.
Real quick, man, Dr. L, check your email. I actually just sent you the link in case you wanted to pull up as well. And everybody that's currently still in the chat, if you haven't done so, make sure you guys comment and let us know where you're watching from. Make sure you're subscribers, and make sure you hit that super chat button if you have any comments or questions that you would like for us to address or acknowledge.
Okay, what do I want to tackle next? This.
The American Farm Bureau Federation is a
Did you hit the gym today, or did you?
Yeah,
I didn't go to the gym. My friend didn't ask me, and if he did, it depends on what time of day he would have asked. If he would have asked earlier when it was cooler, I would have went. But once that humidity kicks in, it just makes everything feel miserable. So I wouldn't have went if it was around 6, 7.
Man. And I know, and I can feel it. I feel like a hack for talking about this situation, but Jocelyn Pinkett Singh will just not let it die.
Plus, like I said, the gym isn't my main workout. My main workout is my road runs, and then I, shadow box in the back of the house. That's my main workout. Like, the gym is like always been supplemental for me.
Because he just refuses to grow a pair and stand up for himself. Like, brother, stand up. Stand up.
So the Akash Singh situation really just seems never ending at this point.
Yeah.
Last time we talked about how he had officially departed from the Flagrant podcast, as he had already not sat on that couch with his so-called friends for months. And once again, he did not show up as the message was broadcast.
How the fuck you gonna ditch a job that was paying you $100,000 a month? That's crazy.
This year, he is going to be stepping away from the pod. It is bittersweet.
By the way, he stepped away from that podcast that he helped build for like 12 years of his life.
Right.
I refuse to walk away from.
You have to kick me out.
For 12 years of my life, I'm gonna be sitting on that couch every week, fake laughing. All of that.
You have to kick me out.
And y'all can laugh at me in the comments, but I'm gonna be laughing to the bank. There's no way I'm gonna build something for 12 years of my life and walk away from it because I'm getting backlash from the internet, especially if the podcast is called Flagrant.
Flagrant was the show that took him from being a low-rate comedian on the latter half of his better days.
I'm not saying don't do it.
I'm just saying.
And how are you gonna be? Yeah, how you gonna be on a Flavor podcast where you roasting people and get mad that you get roasted because of your stupid bitch wife?
Nah, but Akash wants to do.
A wife that claimed to be innocent but was really run through.
By the way, just for context, Akash's wife was talking about another man, and she said she knows he has a 10-incher. And then she continued to say that she wanted to have an orgy with that man and that man's fiance. By the way, people online were saying that she was friends with this woman and this man. And by friends, they meant that
I had to edit some stuff out of my video from yesterday to make it monetizable and for replay. So I'm not gonna be showing clips of stuff on the videos anymore.
But that's a little bit of context as to that 10-incher remark. She was the one that originally said that the NAF dude must have a 10-incher.
How would she know? Did she have him take it out and measure it?
Best friends are no longer on good terms. I also have other updates for you on his wife Jasleen continuing to embarrass herself online, a really horrible TV appearance from Gandhi himself.
What happened with your wife? Someone called her a gold digger or something?
As well as the biggest glazer on planet Earth refusing to come up for air off that link.
No. So when I went back to my high school and somebody was like, "Yo, I heard your voice with the Akash." I was like,
now coming off his sold out tour, I really do feel like Akash was feeling himself. And I really cannot even blame the guy because coming right at the Inferno,
I don't feel sorry for him. Fuck him.
The internets, he would immediately
You getting paid $100,000 a month just to be on a fucking podcast where you sit there and laugh and roast people.
Now he's walked away from the platform that made that possible. Like, call me crazy, but I don't think that there's this plethora of people that are like, Akash is coming in December. We got to plan ahead so that we can make sure that we come see him when he's. I think Akash is the guy that you see on Facebook ads because you've been watching the Flavor podcast and all of them track your data. And he pops up and you go, well, I have an extra $50 for this weekend. What can we get into, right? Akash Singh tickets, right? And so the thing that I think made him popular and that gave him the ability to sell out that show was the Flavor podcast because it kept him updated and it kept him in the algorithm. And now that he's walked away from that, he's gonna have, say, another year, 2 years of still riding that wave. But once that wave is over, you've kind of gotten rid of your bread and butter. And for what? Because you were getting criticism. It's crazy. I personally think that Akash, Jasleen Singh made him get away from it because out of spite for Andrew Schultz because he spoke about the situation. And hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
What is up, Radio City Music Hall? Thank you guys so much for coming.
As he would almost immediately sign to United Talent Agency after this show, which is one of the top 3 talent agencies in the world. In the announcement post, Akash would mockingly say, "Gonna miss WME though. I guess some relationships are harder to leave than others." Shrug. Which was obviously a not-so-sly metaphorical middle finger to both Andrew and the flagrant audience. And if you need more evidence of this, Neon's father would also simultaneously unfollow Andrew, while continuing to follow the other host, Alex, Mark, and the flagrant page itself, which really tells me that his issue was directly with Andrew. And it should also be noted here that Akash would also take the time to unfollow Charlemagne and DJ Academics as well, who were both his friends in the industry for years.
Yeah. Why does your wife have a microphone in her face and not allow your wife to start a motherfucking podcast, bro?
Yes. It's actually based advice, but Akash is that one friend that gets upset when you tell him the truth about situations when it comes to his girl.
Your wife is a slut.
Friends, you can't really tell them much. You just gotta tread lightly.
She bragged about getting run through in college, and then she claimed that she didn't really know what she was talking about. She was just
feel like when buying things isn't enough and it gets boring.
She was bragging about how she used to let white guys run through her little Indian ass.
But to destroy his career, to try to make herself famous and spend all of his money.
And it's from a guy who was roasting Fresh and Fit, saying that they're corny for not wanting to date women of their own race. Meanwhile, the wife of your own race prefers getting run through by white guys.
She's going to take whatever's left and run away. I genuinely believe that. I could be wrong. But there's a 10-year age gap. They don't have any kids. She seems to be bored all the time. I mean, you can only buy so many things before it gets old. And she obviously wants to destroy him to some degree.
It's as though anyone who spoke about this insanely hot topic in any negative way in regards to J.A.C got the boot.
And I realized he actually doesn't follow Andrew anymore. But even worse, get Andrew. Nigga, he ain't follow me no more. I'm telling you now, I love you. I'm not gonna unfollow you. And anything people ever said about you is because they love you. I know it might not seem that way, but we love you.
Because realistically, J.A.C was poisoning the very well that she was drinking from.
Yep.
Because when it came to the algorithm, the comment section, and the overall fan base of Flagrants, it had literally all become about the Akash drama.
Yeah.
And as someone who understands the back end of the way this all works, I can completely see why Andrew would say, fuck that.
Because you don't need a microphone in your face because you're going to fuck around and ruin us.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, he's a business partner.
Exactly what happened.
50-50 at this point, and if your wife
Exactly
is
what
messing
happened.
up the business, eventually I have to say something about it. And I guarantee you she didn't like what he had to say about it, because what he had to say about it was probably she's not allowed to make TikToks. She got to stop the TikToks.
Not just you.
And then she sat down and convinced Akash that his best friend, or this guy that he's been working with, even if they're not best friends, this guy he's been working with for over a decade hates him, even though they built this thing together. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's all not to even mention that Andrew was his boy for over a decade.
And that's my brother, and we met in 2008. I remember I just moved to New York, and I got asked to do this show. It was like a hood show. It was out in Brooklyn, Urban Room, they would call it. But the show didn't end up happening. It got canceled, and then he drove me home together, and he drove me home in his mom's minivan. But then we started talking on the way home. He had all the same taste in
Y'all
comedy.
were tight since
And I didn't see him for
2008.
months, and then I saw him months later at another hood show.
And you mad because of
And
this
he
dumb
just
bitch.
destroyed the room.
Yeah.
And I wasn't nearly I was bombing all the time at that point, but I knew I wanted to go in that direction. And then watching him just have this like unbelievable determination and loyalty, so loyal. I don't know a lot of people who get that successful and then they try to become better people while they're doing it. And I feel like he's done that. And that's
Nothing but great things to say about the guy.
a really cool thing.
Like I'm saying, as Andrew blew up, it's not like he pulled the ladder up behind him. Like, if anything, he showed Akash the blueprint to climb up that shit. And someone who would really weigh heavily in on this beef was the clown who interviewed J.A.C a couple of months back. Some of you may remember that he was simultaneously spitting at me through the screen, while also swinging on Akash's nuts. It was
like damn Tarzan. Swinging from the nuts like Tarzan.
truly a feat that you could only get from your local lot lizard at the Dollar General down the street. I'm talking about generational dick riding here, my people.
I did a deep dive on the Justine situation progress. Me and Justine, that's when we started chopping it up. She's obviously appreciative of our platform for just, being objective about her. I do the Justine pod. That should go nuts, bro.
Well, it's crazy because he thinks it went nuts, but people were hate watching it. When you do a podcast, if more people are there to watch Jocelyn sing than you on your own podcast, that says a lot about the lack of motion that you have.
Now, the ironic part is that this guy was completely biased.
I'd be sitting around thinking like, yo, if I was just leaving, I would be doing it worse. Like, I would go on TikTok every day, just grab a rack, and just count everybody, be like, oh, y'all mad? Y'all mad? Yo.
Jocelyn is someone who he literally met one time, who he is clearly in favor of simply
One
because
time and he's glazing like
the
this?
same race. And of course, he wanted that sweet, sweet clout.
I got so much respect for her and Akash because
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I was getting paid, I'd do it too. But no, this nigga's whack for this shit.
About people that I've met.
You don't even know the bitch.
Off of a camera.
Yeah.
Akash sold out Radio City.
Yeah.
People on the internet are joking around as if he's lost something through all of this.
Keep in mind that this
He
guy's lost
did.
respect.
That matters a lot to men who don't care as much about money. He's like, if I was you, I would make it worse. I would get on live and count up $1,000. Nobody cares about a man who makes a bunch of money but is disrespected by the people that he provides a life for. We don't care about your money. We don't get any access to it. So you can try to sit here and flex all you want, but there's tears behind them dollars. There's tears behind them dollars.
Oh, stop playing. Oh no. They even had on the flannel shirts.
Getting accredited was a major milestone for the University of People.
Beautiful, durable outdoor furniture, perfect for your space, is at Raymore and Flanagan. Made from quality material.
This entire brand is built around his Indian roots. I mean, you can see it directly on display with the corny brown creative hat that he is sporting. And y'all know I'm brown, right? I mean, look at my skin. But if you ever see me rolling around with one of these brown creative hats on, just finish me right there for the sheer amount of cringe that I have brought into this world.
Andrew and Flagrant made a statement saying that Akash is no longer a part of Flagrant Podcast. And I had a problem with their statement.
As I'm sure you guys are aware, our boy Akash, he really went through it earlier this year.
I'm sure that they're friends and but I just don't like adding the context of he's been through a lot. Because I feel like you could have made that statement and just said, yo, he's leaving the pod, he's focusing on stand-up, and that's it. That additional piece of context, then how would you read that?
I mean, get a
What?
load of this guy blue tomatoes. Nobody want to hear that. Akash has himself admitted that this has been a stressful situation for him. That was probably the most honest thing he said about this whole situation.
I mean, the truth is that Akash could not handle the audience that he helped build, turning on him this way. I mean, I'm not even saying that I blame Akash for not wanting to be the butt of the joke on a ship that he helped build. But if he wanted to control the narrative, well, he should have shown face on the podcast.
Right.
Or even released a simple written or video statement onto his social media about his departure. And
all he had to do was say everything that happened. I know it all. It's crazy and it all looks crazy. But I told my wife she's no longer able to make TikToks. She has to stop sharing our private business with the public, and all this will go away.
Yeah.
And then nobody would have mentioned it anymore. People would have trolled about it for a couple more months in the comments, but they would have started to dwindle after a while. There's always another story. It would have eventually faded away. But Jocelyn will not let this story fade away. She's always trying to add some context just to get a little bit more light on it.
he decided to do neither. I feel like he really relinquished his opportunity to control the narrative. And this guy, on the other hand, is still hanging around his high school, somehow meat-writing the situation.
This is the funniest thing because, like, I've met Akash once. Like, I love Justine after meeting her, right? My neighbor goes, yeah, I heard your boy sold out Radio City. And then me and my girl were dying, laughing. We're all like, no, it was so funny. I went back to my high school and somebody was like, yo, I heard your voice with the cops. I was like, oh my God, bro, is dick riding all you do? This is how a down year, that's not how that feels. Like, how that felt is that, yo, this was like the rough chapter in your hero journey. This is like LeBron losing a bunch of times and then finally getting that, I got the ring.
Comparing a
Bro's doing tricks on it.
Akash to LeBron James
Is it?
simply because his wife would not shut up about her college memories with frat boys, wanting to bang her best friend's husband, Akash 2.0, and her materialism addiction is objectively hilarious. And speaking of that, her posting has continued, as she has somehow grown an even bigger head, due to the fact that she has recently signed with a talent agency herself.
Well. So to all the people that didn't believe in me and didn't think I could provide anything, I just had my third call with an agency today. I think it's safe to say your girl is going to start making money soon. The tables have turned, so what are you going to do for me?
And that's what it was all about. I'm so happy she's saying this. Akash keeps taking these little tidbits as jokes, and this is where you got to stomp this shit out as soon as you start hearing it. That's what it was all about. She just doesn't want to depend on him in terms of the money part anymore, so she can eventually... This is a plot for her to try to gain leverage, to try to say that now he needs to do more for her than he already did, even though the only reason why she was signed by this talent agency is because she's his wife. That's her whole claim to fame, is the fact that she's his wife. So still by proxy, her whole claim to fame is because of him, and this is all a plot. Trust me, this is all a plot so that she can get from underneath needing his money. She's gonna leave this. She's gonna leave Akash. As soon as she gets the opportunity, she's gonna leave Akash. Trust me.
I mean, I'll just have to say it, guys. This has to be one of the most deluded people I've ever seen. And that boy Neon Sr. is right there with her.
I'm gonna be out here popping this butthole for the bike friends.
You know, like, people always ask me, like, how are you so unaffected by, like, all these think pieces about you? This all sounds so fucking dumb to me. What my real issue is like, why do these people, when they talk about me, they get, like, 10x their normal views? But when I talk, and I'm talking, I don't.
I mean, you're trash. Because you're trash. The seem to see anything that she's doing is because they want to see how much worse it's getting for Akash. Trash.
Her entire engagement online is based on people hate watching. And not only from the flagrant side, but also from her very own community, where other Indian girls have consistently called her out for talking shit constantly about their culture.
Yeah, should I do a think piece about ruining my husband's career after he sold out Radio City and like has never sold out more shows?
Yes, guys, she really thinks that all of the hate that she cast upon Akash is the sole reason that he sold out Radio City Music Hall, completely diminishing any of his hard work. She would also openly brag about the fact that Andrew and Akash are no longer friends on her Instagram story, while also claiming that she was digitally essayed the last couple of months, meaning through the computer by the comments. Like, you cannot make this shit up. And recently, her ego is even more out of control after signing the talent agency deal. And she
talent agency sign people that aren't talented all the time. They're actually infamous for this.
Currently now even has a personal assistant on Akash's payroll.
Of course.
You guys, my assistant Kiana helped us secure mangoes shipped from India.
And in general, she has just continued to be beyond obnoxious.
Where are my financially anxious girlies that also love to shop? Rise up. I'm here with you. Sometimes.
Wait, you're financially anxious? Who's butt?
Digitally, yes, yeah, that's crazy, right?
That got her mangoes imported from India? Truly unbelievable. real talent. The Reaction Creator Academy course, Learn to Turn Social Media Monk. Dark. Watching you showed me that I'm more of a
and I'm like, maybe I'll just buy a perfume. Yes, I know it's like consumerism and whatever. It's fine. I like it. Fashion is a hobby.
Fashion is only a hobby if you're not financially anxious.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
In all seriousness, though, Akash did recently show face to do some promotion for his tour, and people in the comments were saying that this is not the healthiest this guy has ever looked. And even here, he could not help but bring up her shopping addiction.
So what are you looking forward to doing while you're here? I love just walking the street. My wife likes shopping, so she really likes.
That's that bloat that you get from drinking too much. All the weight start going to your face and to your stomach. You know, when you start drinking and eating at the same time, that's the way. A carb is Akash is about to turn into a carb real quick if he don't get that stress drinking under control.
And just all the shopping. And I will try to avoid spending money by distracting her with what to eat.
I mean, in this interview, I almost think the guy looked downright drunk or hungover. And my favorite part of the interview is when the news anchor ironically says,
or no, at the beginning every shot, try to say, hey, if something I say like offended you or you feel like going too far, or if you just don't want to be talked to, just give me this motion and I'll move on. Because I'm 5'7" and I know this. I can't fight. So, like, I don't need to be just mean to be mean. So, like, I don't want to, like, you don't want Will Smith coming out. Yeah. I'm a prime candidate to get slapped. I'm a very slappable guy.
It's funny.
Yeah, but you talk a lot of shit.
Literally become the new Will Smith after being publicly embarrassed by his wife time and time again. And I did want to show you guys this other clip from another recent interview that Akash did, where he was asked directly about the idea of Jasleen being a gold digger.
What happened with your wife? Someone called her a gold digger or something?
Oh, it was a whole thing online. So
it's a big thing.
Yeah, there's this community of people online who don't really like women, and it's like their whole identity is women.
She's convinced them. I'm telling you right now, she has convinced them. She has convinced a man that is weak for his woman is a danger to himself because he will allow her to blame anything that she may have done wrong on him or the entire world. Anything outside of herself. She is now convinced that, and he's impossible to do business with too, by the way, because you're not doing business with him, you're doing business with his wife. She has convinced him that all of the criticism that she got for the things that she said is because men hate women. What about the women who criticize the things that his wife said? Or have they just internalized misogyny? Is that the problem?
Right, because
Like,
there was a
this
ton of women
absolutely. He could one
that criticized his wife.
when issues in his career started.
Indian women
when
at
his
that.
wife started to want to be TikTok famous, and she has convinced him that 1+1 equals Andrew Schultz is a misogynist, so now you got to quit the podcast. Like this is
and
insane.
like I love a little bit of sexism, but like it was just obnoxious. And he came on I had a podcast. He came on, and I just kind of dressed him down. He's like a 6-foot+ black dude who is getting dressed down on camera by this little scrawny, skinny, fat, never take his shirt off, wear 2 layers, 5'7" Indian. And I think he felt very embarrassed by that moment because it just lived. And every time he would try to come at me, I would just post that and be like, we've done our discussion.
Yeah, but he's still doing his show, and you're not anymore. So you won the battle but lost the war.
And then my wife is like me. She says crazy things. I don't care what she says. They're all jokes. I know it. And we don't get offended by jokes.
We'll
so
see.
Someone clipped up like all the craziest things she said back to back to back, and then just put it out on the internet, and then it took on its own narrative.
And overall, it appears to me that Akash has made the decision, or at least Jasleen has, that he is okay in isolation away from the very people who truly helped him build his career from the dirt when it was looking nearly over. And he will now totally and completely turn into the Indian comedian.
Right, 6
for the
figures a
Indian
month.
audience.
I'm not
Which,
turning
to
down
be
6
fair,
figures
is
a
not
month.
the dumbest move I've ever seen. I mean, that is a massive but very untapped demographic.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is actually real. Like in Texas, there are entire neighborhoods now that are Indian folks. Like I think it's because of the H-1B and stuff. I could be wrong, but like Plano, Texas, I know Indian folks that went from like 1% of the population to like 13% of the population in a matter of years. So what I'm saying is there is a huge audience now of Indian people in America that probably would buy this stuff for forever. I just out of support for Akash being an Indian man, right? But he kind of banks on doing crowd work for his comedy, and I mean, all you need is one savage to ruin your whole show. All you need is one person that's willing to really pull the receipts to have a rebuttal. One heckler is all it takes to ruin the show.
I really see nothing wrong with that being his business strategy. But yes, something about the way this all went down, from the petty Instagram captions to the wife's Instagram stories, and now her continuing to post all this self-important downright bullshit. I don't know, it really just makes me cringe on the deepest level.
Yeah.
But y'all let me know what you guys think on this update down below. For those of you who do frequently watch the Flagrant podcast, do you think it's been better without Akash? Have
That's a
you
good
really
question.
felt the lack of his presence? And whose side are you really on between Akash and Andrew?
I can tell you right now, without even knowing all the details of the behind-the-scenes stuff, I'm on Andrew Schultz's side. You have a show where you make hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially billions of dollars, criticizing everybody else all the time, and then you run into a little bit of backlash, a lot of bit of backlash. But either way, you then run
You
over the hill.
have a podcast where you make fun of people and criticize them, and you face back, and you eventually face some backlash for it. Man, take it on the fucking chin. Anyway,
Totally.
I'm going. I'm gonna take a shower. It's hot. I'm miserable, and I'm hungry. So I'm not gonna make this a 1 hour, like a 1 hour, 2 hour thing. I'll just have to reset for tomorrow. But thank you for those who watched or people who may watch this on replay. Peace.